Hello, Alanteja. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, sir. Thank you. How are you?
Great, good, good to see you.
You too, sir.
So, how is going?
Pretty good, sir. Thank you. How are you, sir?
Great, great, good. So today is our last day, and we will sum up the things and then see that where do you stand in the class.
Sure, sir.
Good. Just take a minute so that other people also join us, and then we'll start. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Dinesh, how are you doing?
Good, Professor. How are you?
Good, great. How
Thanks.
are you doing?
Yeah, Professor. Thanks for asking. Good, Professor.
Very good. So I was telling that maybe we'll wait for a couple of more minutes
Yeah, sure.
and then we'll start, okay?
Yeah, sure.
And today we are going to do our wrap up
Okay.
and then we'll discuss that where do you stand in the class.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So we have one, two, three students yet. So three are missing still. So let's start then. Some people will join later on maybe. So let me share my screen with you. So what I have done so far, right? Let's start our discussion from there. Look, the deal is that we have a database. We have a database, right? And in order to connect with database, in order to connect with database, we have a class PDO, right? We use this built-in PHP class PDO, PHP data object class, right? This is the class which we use to connect with the database, right? So database has direct association with PDO. Then we made our own class with the name DB object, and this is the class where we placed all our queries, right? Find or create, all our CRUD operations, we placed them over here, right? And then we inherited from here, from this DB object class, into a setter class, right? And from setter class, we inherited into user class. And from here, we also inherited to our picture class, right? This is so far we have done. And once a user wants to connect to DB, then you can say this thing that right over here, we have an association of this user class with the session class, right? So session class actually monitors that whether the user is logged in or logged out, or if a user has to sign in. So all these processes are governed by this session class. Right, guys? Right? Everybody knows this thing. So you can say that this is a simple class diagram for this project we have built so far. Class diagrams could be very complicated, right? They could have so many functions, they could have so many associations with each other. For example, we could have a class with the name, students. Let me have, who is this? Manthan. So for example, I was saying, Manthan, you missed some part, please look over it. So we could have a class with the name student. And we could have another class with the name subjects, right? So we can have the situation where all the students are part of a master student list, and all the subjects are part of a master subject list, right? Say for example, these are the lists, which are directly connected with DB and getting, various segments of the DB into the memory for fast processing, right? So we can say this thing, there could be tons of situations. We can say this thing that this student is composed into this master student list, right? And this subject class is composed into master subject list. I'm making a very typical example, right? And here we can write that for one master student list, there could be so many students. And for one master subject list, there could be like so many subjects. So this is composition relationship, right? Once we want to make composition relationship, we fill up this diamond, right? Right, everybody? Now the deal is that for every student, there could be a bunch of subject which he is taking, right? So every student is taking some subjects, right? So we can say that the student would have a list of subjects. Here we can make this diamond, which is empty. So one student is going to have so many subjects, right? One student is going to have so many subjects. Similarly, every subject would have a list of students who have taken that course. Making sense? Hello, everybody.
Yes.
Right? So basically we can say that every subject have so many students. So every subject has so many students in it. This particular relationship is aggregation. This particular relationship is what? Aggregation. Aggregation means that you are aggregating something into one other thing. Right? So always remember, both aggregation and composition, they has a relationship. A master student list has a student. A master subject list has a subject, right? A student has subjects. A subject has some student who are taking it. So both aggregation and composition, this filled diamond one is composition, this emptied diamond one is aggregation. So both composition and aggregation are has a relationship. So
Can we say student is a like part of master student is a relationship like reverse
no, it is not is a relationship. It is a his inheritance relationship,
inherit? Yeah.
right? So this composition and aggregation, these two, they are has a relationship, right? The question is that how they are different then? Why do we have two of them? Like one is composition and one is aggregation. How they are different? Yes.
Complete part.
In aggregation, parent and child are different. They are not dependent on each other.
No, parent, there is no parent, no child, my dear. Parent-child relationship is inheritance only, right? Which is a relationship I discussed earlier.
Might be the
For
independent-
example, person has like car has engine is a aggregation.
Okay, why not composition?
Might be the independency, Professor.
No. So I take it, I explain it this way, that once you think that if car is sold, engine would be sold with it. Do you think it will happen?
Yes.
Right? Once car is sold, engine would be sold with it. So this is composition. Okay. Are you Ankit? You are not, fully satisfied with this answer?
Yes, sir. Can you
Okay.
explain?
For example, if master student list is deleted, all the students would be gone. This is composition. But for example, if a student is deleted, the subject list will not delete or will not happen to it, right? A student has a reference to the subjects that, hey, I am taking this subject, this subject, this subject. So student has a list of subjects which is taking, right? But if student is gone from the system, subjects, there nothing wrong will happen to the subjects, right?
Yeah.
So basically this is aggregation where we have the references only, right? So once we have actual objects present inside the other object, this is composition. Once we have just reference to those objects, this is aggregation. Always know this thing, right? So I have read so many books on UML, and I have seen this thing that, engine is part of the car kind of examples, right? But none of these examples fully explain that what is the difference between aggregation and composition. So this is the difference. That imagine this thing that if one thing is gone, other is gone along with it, it means that it was composition, right? That thing was having it as a part of it, right? So that if it was part of it, then, it is composition. If it had only a reference of it, then this is aggregation. Make sense?
Yes.
Right? So you can say in programming terms, but the programming terms are so wide because you can program in C++, you can program in PHP, you can program in Python, you can program in JavaScript, right? You can program in Java, right? So the deal is that if you think that once an object got deleted, whatever inside it will go with it and there would not be any reference of it whatsoever, then it was composition. But if you had some objects and you are just referring to those objects in another object, right? And if that object got deleted, right, those original which were referred will not be affected. So then this is aggregation. Have you got the idea?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So one more thing, that once we are making classes, right, we actually detail every class, right? So how do we detail every class? Let me show you, right? So let me come over here and create a new file. Right, and let me make a table. So three table with 3 cells. So for example, here, we'll write the name of the class user, right? Then in the next section, we are going to put the attributes. So for example, every user would have a first name. You can actually name them, like for example, you can say minus and first name, right? Minus first name. And then you can mention that it is going to be a string, right? Then you can say minus means it is going to be a private, right? Or if it is going to be protected, for example, you can put an hash up front. Right? So hash mean protected, right? So protected, and it should have last name, which is going to be a string. Then it is going to have what? Email.
Email.
So till now, there is no special type of email. It is also counted in strings. I think that in future, we are going to have special type email. And then we have password, which is going to be a string. You can have some guard conditions here. Maybe you can have that min length 8, and you can give a reg expression if you want, right? So basically these are the attributes. And then, you can have various functions over here. So normally we don't list getters and setters over here, but if other than getters and setters, we have some other functions, right? For example, what other functions?
Sign up.
Huh?
Sign up and
sign up, sign in. You know that we made it in the session class.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So did we make the sign up also? No, sign up was something we made probably in the. How are we signing up actually? Let's see. Do you still remember?
In the user class, we have function of validate password.
Wait a minute. Object-oriented programming. Okay. So this is the folder. And within the folder, we have the user class. So setter, set password, validate password is over here, right? So validate password, for example, you can make a validate password, right? And probably sign up is something which we have not made over here. We have made this functionality directly in the page, right? So yeah, we have made it over here, but we could have made it over here, right? Sign up process, if we want, we can make it over here. So for example, can we do it? Where is that?
Me.php.
Me.php, right? So here we have this, insert into user, insert into DB. So we have used insert into DB from DB. So yeah, no need to do it because this inherited method is doing its work, right? So yeah, you can, yeah. So basically we did it at class level, but we use the generic method from the DB object class, right, Menthan?
Right.
Right. So basically, here we can write, for example, where is that? So validate password. So we can have, it is a protected function. Validate password, and it takes the password, which is a string, and it returns a bool. So basically this is key class detail, right? So for every class we make a detail also. So basically these details alongside with this class diagram, which I made over here, right? They tell the developer that exactly what is the code they are going to write. Right, guys? And now they write their code. So you saw in this course that what are the detailed steps one has to take before they actually go into the groundbreaking of the code, right? And then sometimes, sometimes we make state diagrams, right? So what are state diagrams? Let me tell you. So state diagrams can be made for the entire process, or they can be made for object level, right? So let me just show you one game, right? So if you go into, okay, who is going to volunteer? So maybe Menthan, would you like to volunteer? So let me stop share. So, and here, just let me allow you to share your screen. Would you like to share your screen?
Sure.
Okay, open a browser window.
Can I use tool for the state?
Just, yeah, here, just go to the website pickafaceandnick.com.
Okay. So, yeah.
Go to me. Yeah, please sign in, right? And go down a little bit. Go down. So this is just enjoy game. So this is a game, right? So this is your turn. Don't play it for now. Okay. So let me ask somebody else to join you in this game, right? Who can join him in? Anybody?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, Deep, you join him in this game. So go to this same website, pickafaceandnick.com. Are you in the website?
Yeah, so I have login SZ.
What is the login you are doing?
SZ@gmail.com.
What is that?
SZ, SG.
No. This is because your account was not made properly. So you can go to with my email address 41, right? aurangzeb.mohammed40@gmail.com. Do you know that email address?
Yeah.
Our password is 123.
Aurangzeb40@gmail.com.
aurangzeb.mohammed40@gmail.com.
I don't know your email. Can you spell it out?
You don't have it? So yes, it is Apple
Mhm.
umbrella, R rabbit,
Mhm.
apple, Nancy, gorilla, zebra, elephant, Bob.
Okay.
Then you have dot,
Mhm.
M as in man, U umbrella, H horse, A apple, M as in Mary, again M as in Mary, A as in apple, D as in David, then 4040
At Gmail.
at gmail.com. So just a minute before you enter, Manthan, would you please unshare and let Yash share the screen? Share the screen, please, Yash.
And password is
Okay, you have written it wrong. AURANG. This is G.
Here R
And
A.
after N, there is not U, this is G.
Okay.
G as in gorilla.
Uh,
G as in girl.
okay.
Okay, AURANGZB dot NUAJMMA. Yeah, password is 123. Sign in. Okay, go down. You can save it if you want. Okay, go down. Okay, which game you are playing?
Second one.
Second one. Right, so this is the game. So this is their turn. Manthan, you can play now.
Yeah.
Okay. So look, as he has made a box, now it is still Yash turn, right? So, okay. Now this is your turn, Manthan. Okay. Now you have made a box. You can make another box if you want. Right. So you have made another box. Now this is still your turn.
Okay.
Where is your turn? Yeah, this is still your turn. You have made another box. Right. Now don't make a box, right? We don't want to play it all. Right. So yes, you want, this is your turn now.
Yeah.
Right. So look, so this is a game being played, right? So sometimes it helps the developer that you make a state diagram of the game so that they can understand that what's going on, right? So state diagram explains various states of the game, right? And it shows the transition of one state to the other state, right? So let's see that how can we make the state diagram of the game, right? So
Stop, sir.
yes. Right, so let's see, right? Let me share the screen. Any question, guys? Any question? No question?
No, no.
Okay, so let me share my screen, okay? Share. So for example, once you have a game, right? Once you have a game, right? So it will start from somewhere, right? So we can come over here. We can say that this is the start state. Right, so this is made like a solid circle, right? And then what state, once you start the game, what state do you enter in?
First player turn.
Yeah, first player, right? So first player turn. right? So first player has to make a turn, right? So as that first player makes a turn, right, it may happen that he was unable to make a box,
Yeah.
right? So if no box made, so this is controlling condition, right?
Yes.
So if you don't make a box, then it goes to the state, the second player turn. And if you have made a box, then it is first player turn, right? Hello?
Yes,
Right.
sir.
And then if the second player plays the game and unable to make a box, so no box made, so it goes back to the first player turn. And if the box was made, then it would be still the second player turn, right? And then we can always check that, for example, you can check in various ways. For example, you can check the score, that if the score is greater than 50, then you will go to the completed stage, right? And if for example the score or you can say this thing that say you can control it like this, that if you know you keep on playing and if there is no more turn left, then you go to the completed state, right? So basically it is your own logic, whatever the way you pick to, right? So once you make a turn and there is no more turn, no more space to make a turn, then you go to completed stage. Similarly for this guy, and from here you decide who wins. Right? Hello everybody. And then definitely you go to end state. So end state is normally made like a bullseye. So this is a state diagram, right? Now state diagrams are typically made for games or for any process, you know, for which you want to show what is the state diagram. Right? Let me show you a few typical state diagrams, right? Let me for example show you one state diagram which I love the most, and that is TCP state diagram. Let me pull out TCP state diagram. Let me see this one for example. Okay. So for example, yeah, it is very informative diagram also. So can you see it? You know, all of you can see it?
Yeah.
So for example, you are in closed state, right? TCP is in closed state, right? And then at the server side, application layer tells the TCP that, hey, you go to open state. You go to passive open state, right? Can you see it? You go to passive open state. So it goes from closed state to the listen state. Now server is listening, right? Server is listening, right? And what happens at the client state, for example, the application layer, for example, you open a browser window and punch in msn.com, right? So application layer advises the TCP layer that, hey, you better open, not passive open, but open. And as it says open, right, the TCP layer sends SYN on the other side. send SYN on the other side. So it is SYN is sent on the other side, and the client goes into SYN sent state, right? It is in the state that, hey, I have sent the SYN now, right? I have sent the SYN now, right? That SYN goes where? That SYN goes where? Please.
To other states, this is down.
To the
other state, state. Like I can't see, Professor. It's down, going down.
No. I'm asking that once that SYN is sent, that SYN goes where?
Server side.
To the server, right? So once client TCP layer sends out the SYN, it goes to the server. Server was sitting in what state?
Open listening.
Server was sitting in the listen state,
Listen
right?
state. Yeah.
So server was sitting in the listen state, and as it receives the SYN right over here, can you see? It sends out SYN plus ACK and goes to SYN receive state, right? Hello? It goes to SYN receive state, and it has sent out SYN plus ACK. So this SYN plus ACK goes where?
Client side.
To the client side. Client side was sitting where? Client side was sitting in SYN send state, right?
Sense.
And while sitting in the SYN send state, as it receives SYN plus ACK, it sends back ACK and goes to
Established connection.
established state.
Yeah.
This ACK goes where? I'm sorry.
Server side. Client
This
send
goes to the
acknowledgement.
server. Very good. So server was sitting in what state?
Receive
state.
Receive state.
Right? So as it receives the
Acknowledgement.
right? It also goes to established state. And in the established state, they exchange the messages with each other. And once one side decides to tear down the connection, right? Say, for example, you were at msn.com and suddenly you decided to close the window down, right? So what happens, that application layer tells the TCP layer that, hey, you better tear down the connection, right? So application layer says, APPL mean application layer says, hey, you better close the connection, right? So TCP sends out FIN, hey, goodbye, right? Goodbye from us, right? So it sends out FIN, right? And as it sends out FIN, right, goes to FIN wait one state. It goes to what state? It goes to FIN wait one state. This FIN goes where?
Closing.
No. FIN was sent by client, for example. So it goes where?
The server.
It goes to the server. Server was sitting in what state?
Established.
Established state. So as it receives that FIN, right? As it receives that FIN, it sends back acknowledgement and goes to
close wait
state. This acknowledgement goes where?
Client.
To the client who was sitting in
FIN wait one.
FIN wait one, right? So he was sitting in FIN wait one. As it receives the acknowledgement, it goes to FIN wait two, right? So this side, which went to close wait state, right? At application layer, it tells the application layer that, hey, other side has sent us the FIN, right? Other side has sent us the FIN. So application layer says that, okay, if other side wants to tear down the connection, we also want to tear down the connection, right? So basically, application layer say, oh, you better close also. So it sends
fin flag
fin. So
to
this fin
client.
goes where?
Client.
Client. Who
Client
are
side.
sitting in
Fin wait 2.
fin wait 2. It receives the fin and acknowledges it, right? And goes to time wait state, right? This acknowledgement goes where?
Server side.
Yeah, which was sitting in the last acknowledgement
Last.
state, and it receives the acknowledgement and does nothing and goes to close state, right? And the other side, after some time, after waiting some time, goes to close state. So look, this is a beautiful, beautiful state diagram for TCP. So state diagrams are, depiction, graphical depiction of various states through which an object or a particular subsystem or the entire system goes through. Right? So basically we make these state diagrams to communicate the developer that what exactly do we want to make. Right? It defines, for example, if for example you have a smart card, right? You insert the smart card into the machine, right? And now this is the whole sum of process. That one state is that slot is empty, other state is that you have inserted the card, now card will read something, set one thing, and all these negotiations. So they are best explained by using the state diagrams. Got the idea? So guys, the deal is that in this particular course, we studied UML, and just to brief you that UML has 3 legs. What are the 3 legs? Number 1 is interactivity modeling. Number 2 is the class modeling. And number 3 is the state modeling. Right? Interactivity modeling, class modeling, and state modeling. And they are being done in the same order in which I have taught you. Right? Interactivity modeling, in interactive modeling we started from user stories. Then we went to wireframes, right? Then we went to use cases, right? And use case diagram. And then we came to mockups. And then next step is the scenarios, sequence diagrams, and activity diagrams. So this all makes the interactivity modeling, right? And then we decide this thing, that how to write the code, how to divide the code into various portions, and we make the class diagram. Okay, class diagrams, right? So basically class diagram by itself and details of every class. So this make the class modeling. And then lastly, we also make the state diagram. So the deal is that if you are a single user, right, and a developer may be developing with a couple of your friends and want to develop an application, maybe you will make a few of them. If you are not working alone, I would say that you have to make at least user stories. Wireframes you have to make anyways, right? Then you have to make use case diagram. You have to write use cases. Without use cases, you cannot communicate with any person. You have to write use cases, right? You have to make use case diagram, right? Then you have to make a class diagram. Then you can start developing. And if there is some difficult process which you want to explain, if there is a process level, then you can make interactive modeling, or you can make state modeling if you want to explain it better in the form of state. And that's how you develop a project. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
So with these words, I will like to, bid farewell to you all. I wish you good luck for all you do in your life. And it was a nice, group, small group.
Thank you, sir.
I'm very happy to teach you all, and I wish you good luck for all you do.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
I
sir.
hope that welcome. I hope that you learned something out of this course.
Yeah,
Yes,
of
sir.
course.
So make use of this knowledge and build some fantastic things. And as you will make these things, I will feel really great about it.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So thank you very much, guys. And let me just stay in this communication.